What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to scrape TikTok influencers automatically by creating a simple workflow in Any10. Let's get started. In Any10, I've created a workflow that I've renamed to TikTok influencer scraper. Here we're going to start by adding a trigger, so I'll choose a manual trigger over here. Now, to scrape TikTok influencers, I'm going to use this tool called Apify. Apify is an incredible tool that you can use to scrape any website and automate projects. To get 30% off your first subscription to this tool, just use the link in the description to sign up and create your account. Then after creating your account, head over to Apify store over here. Then we're going to search for the tool that we're going to use to scrape influencers from TikTok. So here I'll search for TikTok email scraper. So we can scrape influencers with their contact information already available. So I'll click on search over here. You can see we have over 500 tools that we can use to scrape leads from various platforms with their contacts information already available. So here, since we like to scrape TikTok influencers with their contact information available, I'm going to use this tool right here. So I'll open this tool on a new tab. And this is the tool that we're going to use to scrape influencers from TikTok. All we have to do is add a search keyword right here and the number of influencers that we like to scrape. For example, we can try scraping beauty influencers, and you can scrape 10 of them. So to scrape 10 beauty influencers from TikTok, I'll click on start right here. Then here we're going to rent this after 22 hours. Then thereafter is going to be $10 a month. So to rent this actor, I'm going to click on rent actor over here. Then I'll click on save and start to scrape our beauty influencers from TikTok. So here you can see that our actor is running and getting our data. Let's give it a second for it to complete scraping our influencers from TikTok. So here you can see we succeeded in scraping 10 influencers using beauty as our keyword from TikTok. So here we got their contact information. This is the email, the keyword that we used, the description, the title, and the URL over here. So now, instead of having to manually scrape our influencers in Apify, we can create a workflow that scrapes the influencers for us automatically and then adds the influencers to a spreadsheet. So to set up a workflow that scrapes the influencers for us, here, since we are using a keyword to scrape our influencers, we're going to add a keyword to a spreadsheet. So in Google Sheets, I've created a spreadsheet that I've renamed to TikTok influencers spreadsheet. In this spreadsheet, I've created a sheet that I've renamed to keywords. And here we're going to add our keywords and the number of leads that we like to scrape. In our case, it's going to be influencers. Get our keyword. So here, we can use beauty as our keyword. So now to get our keyword in our workflow, here, I'll search for Google Sheets and click on Google Sheets. Then here, I'll click on Get Rows in Sheet Node. Here, you'll need to create your credential to connect your account to Any10 by clicking on Create a new credential. Then sign in with your Google account over here. And then on the new window that pops up, choose the account that you'd like to connect to Any10, and your connection will be created. Since I had already done that, I'm going to close this right here. And then here, we're going to find our spreadsheet, choose this spreadsheet right here. Then our sheet is going to be the keywords sheet over here. And then I'll click on Execute Step to get our keywords over here and the number of influencers that we'd like to scrape. So here, I renamed this node to Get Keywords and click on Rename right here. So now with our keywords, we're going to now proceed and scrape our influencers from TikTok. So as we're using Apify, I'll search for Apify right here and click on Apify. Then here you need to install it first if you haven't installed it yet. Then after installing it, click on the Run an Actor node. Here, click on Create a new credential to connect your account to Any10. So to do that, just click on Connect my account. And then on the new window that pops up, choose the account that you'd like to connect to Any10. And your connection will be created. Since I had already done that, I'm going to close this right here. Then here we're going to run an actor. Then I'll choose the recently used actor. And here we're going to find the actor right here. Choose this actor. And then here we're going to add our JSON. To add our JSON, I'll click on expression right here and expand it right here to add our JSON over here. So to get our JSON, I'll go back to our tool over here. And then it says manual in JSON, click on JSON. Then here we're going to copy this JSON. Then I'll paste the JSON right here. Now instead of having to manually add our keyword, we're going to map it right here with the number of influencers that we like to scrape. So we're going to map the number over here. So now here, I'll click on Execute Step to scrape our influencers using installed in Apify. You can see it's executing our node. Let's give it a second for it to complete scraping our influencers for us. You can see that our node was executed successfully, and here our status was a success, and we got our default dataset ID over here. Now, to get our influencers that we just scraped, here I'll search for Apify again and click on Apify. Then here I'll click on the get dataset items node this time around. And here we're going to map our dataset ID right here. So I'll map it over here and click on execute step. And we got our 10 influencers that we scraped from TikTok using the beauty keyword. So here we're getting the keyword, the email address, title, the URL, and the description over here. That's amazing. Yeah, I renamed this node to TikTok influencer scraper. And here I rename this to get influencer data and click on rename right here. So now with our influencers over here, we're going to now add our influencers to a spreadsheet in Google Sheets. I've also created another sheet that I've renamed to TikTok influencers. Here's where we're going to add our influencers. So we're going to add the keyword that we use to create the influencers, their title, email address, description, the TikTok profile URL, subject line, and the personalized outreach email. So to add our influencers to this spreadsheet, in our workflow, I'll search for Google Sheets again and click on Google Sheets. And here I'll click on append row in sheet node. And here we're going to find our document, which is this document right here. And our sheet is going to be the TikTok influencers sheet. And then here we're going to map values to our columns in our spreadsheet with the data that we scraped using Apify. So we're going to map the keyword right here. For the title, we're going to map the title right here. The email, description, the URL, and the URL right here. So for the subject line and the outreach email, we're going to update these columns later on after we've generated personalized subject line and email for leads. But for now, I'll click on execute step to add our leads data to a spreadsheet. You can see our node was executed successfully. Now, when I open our spreadsheet, you can see we successfully added our influencers to our spreadsheet over here. So we added the keyword that we use to scrape the influencers, the title, the email addresses, description, and their profile URLs over here. Now, here, I renamed this node to TikTok influencers and click on rename right here. And what we're going to do here is we're going to now go ahead and generate a personalized subject line and outreach email sent to our leads. But first, here we're going to set up a condition to ensure that we have their contact information available in order to generate personalized outreach emails to send these influencers. So to do that, here I'll search for the if node right here to set up our condition. So here you can say that their email address has to exist. You can add another condition and say that the description also has to exist. So we're going to use the description to generate a personalized outreach email for these leads. And then here I'll click on execute step. You can see all our 10 influencers met our conditions. So if the results were in the first branch here, we like to do nothing. So I'll search for the do nothing node right here and click on it. But since our output is in the true branch here, we're going to go ahead and set up our workflow. Here we have a total of 10 influencers. So we're going to limit the influencers to only 2. I'll click on the limit node right here and limit the influencers to only 2. Since this is just an example, I don't want to send 10 outreach emails to 10 beauty influencers. So I'm going to only send outreach emails to only 2 influencers right here. So now with our influencers over here and their profile data, we're going to proceed and generate personalized outreach emails for the influencers. So to do that, I'm going to use an AI agent. So in AI, I'll click on AI agent right here. Here, I'll define below to add our prompts and our system message over here. So the prompt could be on the lines of, you're an expert email copywriter. Then the system message could be on the lines of, your task is to write a highly personalized, natural sounding cold email based only on the information provided about a TikTok influencer. And here we're adding the TikTok influencers data. So we're adding the title, their bio, and their profile URL. And here we're also adding a couple of rules that we like the AI agent to follow. So we're telling the agent to open with a specific, genuine compliment or observation about the influencer based on their TikTok bio, content style, or niche. Keep the tone friendly, conversational, and professional. It should sound like a real person reaching out to collaborate. Avoid generic praises like love your content. Instead, reference something specific about their bio or the type of videos they create. Keep the email short and natural, maximum of 5 sentences. And here we're planning the structure of the email. So first line will be a personalized compliment or hook. Second line will be a quick intro of who I am and what I do. Third line will be a short explanation of how this could help the influencer based on their niche or growth goals. And the last line will be a light conversational call to action. We're asking a client if they're open to a quick chat, if they would like to see how the system works. Also telling the agent not invent details that aren't in the input. If the bio is empty, write a simple, respectful message. Avoid tired openings like hope you're doing well. Do not use dashes or placeholders like your name or company name. Then lastly, you're telling the agent output must be in clean JSON format with exactly two keys, the subject line and the email body. Then we're concluding the message by saying the first line of the email should be a personalized comment or insight based on their TikTok bio or video style, and the ending should include a light, relevant call to action that fits the influencer's tone. Now, here, I require a specific output format, and then I'll click on the output parser here. Then I'll click on structured output parser. And here we're going to add a JSON example for our output. So here, we like to output only the subject line and the email body. Okay, so I'll drag this node to the top right here. The other thing we're going to add is the chat model. So I'll search for OpenAI chat model over here. Here, you'll need to create your credential to connect your account to Anygen. To do that, so from your OpenAI API, add your API key over here and click on save to create your connection. Then here, choose a model. You can choose any of these models right here. And then here, I'll drag this at the top right here. The next thing that we're going to add is the memory. I'll click on the simple memory over here. And here, I'll choose to define below and add the key over here. Click on expression to add a key. So for the key, I'm going to choose today's date as a key right here. Then I'll drag this at the top right here. Right here. Here, I'll open this node and then I'll click on execute step right here to generate personalized outreach emails for our two leads over here. It's executing our node. Let's give it a second. You can see that our node was executed successfully, and we successfully generated two personalized call outreach emails for our leads, one for Lindsay and Liliana. The subject line for first lead is on the lines of boost your LA beauty and lifestyle page with AI automation. And the email body is on the lines of Lindsay, I'm really impressed by how you've captured the Los Angeles beauty and lifestyle vibe so authentically on TikTok. I build AI automations for marketing agencies that help streamline growth and audience engagement. Given your strong following and niche, I believe some tailored automations could free up more time for you to create while also expanding your reach. You'll be open to a quick chat to explore how this could work for your channel. A very personalized call email we can send to this lead. The second lead subject line is on the lines of helping beauty Liliana take Vegas beauty content to the next level. Then the email body is on the lines of Liliana, it's awesome how you bring a little bit of everything, Vegas beauty and lifestyle, into your TikTok content. It really makes your profile stand out. I build AI automations for marketing agencies that help influencers like you optimize growth and engagement without adding to the workload. I'd love to show you how some smart automations could support your creative flow and audience expansion. Want to hop on a quick call to see how it might fit your goals? It's a very personalized email body that we can send our lead right here. So our AI agent works perfectly. I rename our agent to Outreach AI agent and click on rename right here. Now the next thing that we're going to do here is we're going to send all outreach emails that we just generated using this AI agent. So to do that here, we're going to wait a few seconds. So search for the wait node right here. We can wait, let's say 3 seconds. And here click on execute step. You can see our node was executed successfully. Now we can proceed to send our leads call emails using Gmail, since we already have the contact information in our spreadsheet over here. So here I'll search for Gmail. Click on Gmail over here. And then I'll click on send a message node over here. Here you'll need to create your credential to connect your account to Anygen. To do that, just click on sign in with Google. And then on the new window that pops up, choose the account that you'd like to connect to Anygen. And your connection will be created. Since I had already done that, I'm going to close this right here. Here we're going to map the email over here. So we're going to grab the email from our spreadsheet. So we're going to map the subject line that we just generated and the email body right here. Email type, we're going to choose text. The last thing that we're going to do here is I'll click on add options and click on append init and attribution. Then we're going to turn this to off. Then I'll click on execute step right here. And see now we sent our two leads, the call emails that we generated using this AI agent. So here, I rename this node to send influencers call emails and click on rename right here. Now, the last thing that we're going to do here is we're going to update our columns in our spreadsheet. So the subject line and the personalized outreach email columns in our spreadsheet with the call outreach emails that we generated using this AI agent. So to do that here, I'll search for Google Sheets and click on update row in sheet node. Here, we're going to find our document, which is this document right here. Then we're also going to find our sheet, which is this sheet right here. Here, we're going to select the column that we like to match. I'm going to choose email, then map the email over here. Now, we're going to map the subject line and the personalized outreach emails over here. Then I'll click on execute step to update our columns with the subject line and the outreach emails. You can see our node was executed successfully. So here, I renamed this node to update subject line and email column. Here, then the last thing that we're going to do here is we're going to complete our workflow. So to complete our workflow, I'll search for the do nothing node right here and click on it. And then now here, I'll execute this node to complete our workflow. You can see our node was executed successfully. Here. So now when I open our spreadsheet, here you can see we updated our two leads with the subject lines and the outreach emails that we generated using our workflow. So here's the personalized subject lines, and here are the personalized outreach emails that we generated using our workflow over here. So our workflow works perfectly. So here we are successfully scraping our influencers from TikTok and then generating a personalized outreach email. We're then sending them automatically using this workflow right here. So here we're adding keywords in our spreadsheet over here and the number of influencers that we like to scrape, and then using this tool in Apify to scrape our influencers from TikTok. And then here we're getting the influencers data and then adding their data to our spreadsheet over here. So the spreadsheet over here where we're adding the keyword that we use to scrape the influencers, the title of the influencers, the email, description, and their profile URLs over here. Here we're adding a condition. You can see that our influencers met our conditions right here. Then we are using their description, title, and profile URL to generate a personalized outreach email. And we're then sending them via Gmail. Then we're updating the subject line and the email column with the subject line and the email body we generated using our AI agent. Then we're completing our workflow over here. So now over here, you can see we updated our two leads with the personalized subject line and the outreach emails that we generated using our AI agent over here. So our workflow works perfectly. We can try testing it to see how it works. To test our workflow, in our keywords sheet, here, instead of beauty, we can use a different keyword. For example, we can use marketing as our keyword to scrape marketing influencers, and then send them personalized call outreach emails. Now to scrape our marketing influencers, and then generate personalized outreach emails, and then send them the emails using our workflow. Here, I'll click on execute workflow. So here, you can see that our workflow was executed successfully. So we use the marketing keyword over here to scrape our influencers. And then using the keyword, we scraped our influencers using this tool in Apify. And here we got a total of 3 influencers that we added to our spreadsheet. And then you can see they met our conditions. Then we went ahead and generated personalized outreach emails influencers. And then we sent them the outreach emails via Gmail. Then we updated the influencers that we added to our spreadsheet with their respective subject line and email body. Then here, completing our workflow. I open our spreadsheet. Here, you can see we added our 3 influencers over here. So we added the keyword that we use to scrape the influencers. We use marketing keyword. And here we added the title, the email address, description, and the TikTok profile URLs over here. And then we also updated the leads with the personalized subject line and email bodies that we generated for 12 of our leads over here. You can see the personalized subject line and email bodies that we generated for our 2 leads over here, Haley and Milola. Now, when I open one of the emails that we're sending our leads over here, you can see the subject line and the email body over here that we're sending our leads. This is incredible. So we scraped our influencers from TikTok using this marketing keyword, and then added our influencers to our spreadsheet over here, and then use the description, profile URL, and the title to generate personalized outreach emails for influencers using this AI agent over here. And then we sent our influencers the call outreach emails via Gmail using this workflow. As you can see over here, here's a personalized subject line and email body that we generated and sent our influencers using this workflow that we created right here in Anychat. Now, if you'd like me to create this workflow for you or a workflow similar to this one, just click the first link in the description to schedule a call with me. On the call, we'll discuss into details the workflow that you'd like me to create for you, and then I'll proceed to create the workflow for you. But if you enjoyed this video and you have a workflow or an AI agent in mind that you'd like me to create using any 10, just comment it down below in the comment section. I read all the comments, and if I land on your comments and I find it intriguing, I'll come back on a future video showing you how to create the entire workflow or AI agent from scratch using any 10. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.